I'm Eric with Express Garage Doors, and we are going to go over today our quieting kit, how to install it, how well it works, what you can expect when installing it, what tools you need, the entire rundown of the product. So if you want to take a look, it's going to include, based on the kit you select, if you don't have nylon rollers, if you have steel rollers like this door, we're going to recommend that you do nylon. And then it's going to have the quieting sleeves, the sleeve retainers, and our own little concoction of garage door oil to actually make the garage door a bit quieter without making a huge mess. The tools you're going to need for this: a 7/16 driver on an impact or a drill. You can use a ratchet, it's just going to take longer. Some form of socket for when we install these sleeve keepers onto these rollers, and a hammer for the same thing, and we'll get into that later in the video. So let's get to it. We are not going to touch that bottom roller. We will have a kit that addresses that, where you can swap that roller out, but there's all of the tension of these garage door springs is attached to this cable back here, and that all is attached to that bottom bracket. So for the purposes of this video, don't touch that. We will have a separate video on how to deal with that if you feel like that one needs to be changed out. But we've noticed that replacing the majority of the hinges and installing the rest of the kit does a pretty good job in silencing the door. It's not necessary to go to the hassle of messing with that one. All right, we've got a hinge off. Now we're going to install the quieting kit portion with the new roller. If you didn't get new rollers, if you do not have the kit that comes with the rollers, some hinges have enough room for you to just take these and slide them on over the edge. These hinges are not like that. So you have to take the hinges off for each individual one, slide this sleeve onto the roller, and then slide the roller into the hinge. And get it all the way through, and then we're going to tap this on, put it on like this, get that socket and the hammer, and you don't need to use a ton of force for this, but you need to give it enough to get that thing a little bit of purchase. So we'll try to straighten that out a little bit. Once that's on like that, that's sufficient. You do not need to run this all the way to the edge of this. Do not do that. This is so it has a little room to slide as the door moves around, but it will not let that plastic sleeve slip back off of the hinge. Once the kit's installed on the hinge, all you need to do, slide it in and reinstall that hinge. All right, now we're going to go over, we've got all the quiet sleeves, the sleeve retainers, and the new rollers installed. All the hinges are back on the door. Now we're going to go over lubricating these with actual oil instead of the spray stuff that a lot of people sell. We do carry a spray lubricant, but it does make quite a bit bigger mess, and it's not as heavy-weighted of an oil that's going to keep these hinges quiet for a long time. So all you're going to do is put a little drop in there, and the same on this side. Where these two pieces of metal touch each other, this part of the hinge and this part of the hinge, that's the moving part of this, and you just need to put a little drop right where it's going to get down in there, and work its way inside of that and into the rest of the hinge. And you just repeat that. It doesn't take a lot, just a little drop here and a little drop there, and that will work itself in there. And there's enough oil in this to do the whole door a couple times for these smaller doors. You know, if you got a 20-foot wide door, you're not going to get as many uses out of it. And you can use this on the spring, and you do the exact same thing on the center hinges too. You just put a little drop right in that seam. And this is a lot less of a mess than the spray lubricant too. Because when you spray that, if you try to spray it, even with the little straw thing on there, it's going to go all over the place. And all that lubricant that goes all over the door is going to attract all the dust and dirt that you see stuck to your door. Like down here on these rollers that we don't replace, all that dirt and stuff is from lubricant making it stick to the door. And the way you're going to do once you're done with all the hinges, the way you're going to do the spring is just you're going to run a bead of oil down the entire spring like that. You can go back once or twice. Just try not to make a huge mess with it. You can see it's already starting to work its way down into this. If you put too much on, you see that it's going to drip. Just go ahead and pick up the drips. When you start running the door up and down, that will work its way into the whole spring and hopefully give it a little bit more life. One more thing you can oil. These rollers out of the box don't need it, but maybe 6 months to a year down the road, you can put a little drop right where those bearings are, right inside of that little gap. You just do that on every roller that you have. That's it. That's the installation of our quiet door kit. Let's see how much quieter it made the door. All right, we'll do the comparison of the quieted garage door versus the non-quieted door afterwards. This has made this door way quieter than it was before. It's quieter than me talking right now. So we'll go ahead and use our decibel meter and we'll see what we get. I'm at a high of 60.6, and we'll go over to the non-quieted door and we'll see what we get. The high on that, 75, and low's about the same. Again, this door's still pretty quiet. It's insulated. It's not a super clangy loud door, but we'd really like to see what the results some of you guys have with our quieting kit on those big loud doors. I don't have a loud door. This is not a loud door. The only loud doors we have are commercial. We'll probably just do one of these videos on that too. But thanks guys. Go buy one of our quieting kits, install it, and put it in the comments or make a video about it and let us know how much it quieted your door.